Alright, so हमारा block 1 earlier this morning complete हो चुका था and right time it's 1:15 and I'm starting my block 2 and right now I'm gonna study chemistry. First block में हमने physics पढ़ा था, तो let's start it. Carbohydrates, they are hydrates of carbon. General formula C8H2O knows this does not follow this formula, being a carbohydrate. This definition is started because follows the formula and some compounds do not fit into the formula of CH2COOH. So NCERT भी चेस कर जाते हैं. Does not follow this formula, being a carbohydrate. This definition was discarded because not all carbs follow the formula and some compounds other than carbs do not fit in this formula. Carbohydrates may be defined as optically active polyhydroxy aldehyde. So, optically active polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketones or compounds which produce such units on hydrolysis. Carbohydrates क्या होते हैं? They are optically active polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketones which produces such compounds, such units on hydrolysis. Classifications of carbohydrates: monosaccharides. A carbohydrate that cannot be hydrolyzed further to get simpler units of polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone is called monosaccharides. Example: glucose, fructose, ribose. That cannot be. Monosaccharides cannot be hydrolyzed further to give simpler units of polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone is called monosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are the carbohydrates that yield 2 to 10 monosaccharides units of hydrolysis. ठीक है. They further are classified as disaccharides and trisaccharides, etc. One example: one molecule of sucrose on hydrolysis gives 1 molecule of glucose and 1 molecule of fructose. Glucose का देता है hydrolysis पे 1 molecule of glucose and 1 molecule of fructose. Maltose gives 2 molecules of glucose. Monosaccharides होते हैं a carbohydrate that cannot be hydrolyzed further to give carbohydrate that cannot be hydrolyzed further to give simpler units of polyhydroxy and then ketone are monosaccharide glucose, fructose, ribose. So ग्लूकोज फ्रक्टोज राइबोज मोनोसैकराइड्स हैं और ये मोनोसैकराइड्स होते हैं जो फर्दर सिंपल यूनिट्स नहीं दे सकते पॉलीहाइड्रोक्सी या कीटोन के बाई हाइड्रो वेंटिलेटेड टू हाइड्रोलिसिस. polysaccharides. Carbohydrates on hydrolysis which yield a large number of carbohydrates on hydrolysis which yield a large number of monosaccharides more than 10 units. Monosaccharides हो गए, oligosaccharides हो गए, polysaccharides हो गए more than 10 units. Oligosaccharides होते हैं 2 to 10 units. Monosaccharides जो further polysaccharides in ketone units and later on hydrolysis. Reducing sugar which gives tolerance. Reducing sugar जो होते हैं which gives tolerance and fillings. Non-reducing sugar which does not give tolerance and fillings. Types of monosaccharides. 3 carbon atom को triose बोलते हैं, aldotriose, ketotriose. 4 को aldotetrose, ketotetrose. 5 को aldopentose, ketopentose. Fe aldohexose, ketohexose, aldohectose and ketohectose. Preparation of glucose from sucrose, cane sugar. If sucrose is boiled with dilute HCl or H2SO4 in alcoholic solution, glucose and fructose are obtained in equal amounts. ग्लूकोज को कैसे प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं? अगर हम सुक्रोज को बॉईल करें डाइल्यूट HCl के साथ, H2SO4 इन अल्कोहलिक सॉल्यूशन, ग्लूकोज एंड फ्रक्टोज ऑब्टेन हो जाएंगे. क्या करना है? सुक्रोज को बॉईल करें डाइल्यूट HCl और H2SO4 इन अल्कोहलिक सॉल्यूशन. डाइल्यूट HCl H2SO4. That also goes with direct HCl and H2SO4 in alcoholic solution. Fructose is obtained in equal amounts. Glucose and fructose are obtained from starch. Starch एक polysaccharide होता है. Glucose is obtained by hydrolysis of starch by boiling it at dilute H2SO4 and 393 Kelvin. Glucose is obtained by hydrolysis of starch by boiling it with dilute H2SO4 at 393 Kelvin. हमें ग्लूकोज के लिए स्टार्च लेना है. इस डालना है NH2O H plus 393 Kelvin पे 250 atm प्रेशर और N फिर C3H4 दूसरे ग्लूकोज मिल जाएगा. Glucose is an aldohexose also known as dextrose. Glucose aldohexose होता है 6 carbon atoms लेना है और also known as dextrose. Chemical reactions of construction of glucose. Reaction with HI. Glucose has CHO, CHOCH4 or CH2OH. HI need an hexane. अगर inside glucose is a linear chain of 6 carbon atoms in number of branching. अगर हम ग्लूकोज को HI के साथ रिएक्ट कराएंगे तो हमें N हेक्सेन मिलेगा. रिएक्शन में हाइड्रोक्सिलामीन CHOH4 और CH2OH. इसको अगर हम N हाइड्रोक्सिलामीन में ट्रीट करेंगे तो हमें ऑक्साइन मिलेगा. तो वो कन्फर्म करेगा प्रेजेंस ऑफ कार्बोनाइल ग्रुप. Reaction with HCl, HCl भी हमें प्रेजेंस ऑफ क्या बोलते हैं कार्बोनाइल ग्रुप बताता है. Reaction with bromine water. वाटर ट्रीट करेंगे तो हमें ग्लूकोनिक एसिड मिलेगा. जो हमारा एल्डिहाइड होगा वो कार्बोक्सिल बन जाएगा. प्रेजेंस ऑफ एल्डिहाइड ग्रुप बताता है हमें. रिएक्शन विद ब्रोमीन वाटर. एसिटाइलेशन ऑफ ग्लूकोज हमें बताता है प्रेजेंस ऑफ 5OH ग्रुप. प्रेजेंस ऑफ 5OH ग्रुप इन ग्लूकोज. CHOH बन जाएगा. OH की जगह आ जाएगा CHO C डबल बॉन्ड CH3 आ जाएगा H की जगह और नीचे भी पेंटाएसिटेट इसको कहते हैं हम. उसके बाद रिएक्शन विद स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट CHOCH4 CH2OH. 1 डिग्री अल्कोहल अगर हम ऑक्सीडेशन करेंगे इसका कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड HNO3 के साथ तो हमें सिट्रिक एसिड बनेगा जिसमें अल्कोहल एज वेल एज एल्डिहाइड तो कार्बोक्सिल बन जाएगा. चेक द और ये बताना है चेक द check that the glucose has 1 degree alcohol. और अगर हम ग्लूकोनिक एसिड ले जो हमारा बनता है with the treatment of bromine water with glucose में ग्लूकोनिक एसिड बनता है. और ग्लूकोनिक एसिड के भी अगर हम ऑक्सीडेशन कर दें तब भी हमें सिट्रिक एसिड मिल जाएगा. सबसे पहला था भाई अगर CH2 CH2 इसको हम ट्रीट करेंगे इसके साथ ट्रीट करेंगे HI के साथ हमें NH मिल जाएगा. CH3 CH2 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 CH3. सेकेंड रिएक्शन है हमारे पास CHO CHOH CH2OH. इसको हम ट्रीट करेंगे हाइड्रोक्सिलामीन NH2OH NOH तो बन जाएगा हमें C/N. क्या कर रहा हूँ? CHOH 4 CH2OH presence of carbonyl the third reaction ही इसका ही है CHOH 4 और CH2OH. अगर इसको हम ट्रीट करें HCN के साथ H पॉजिटिव CN नेगेटिव C पे नेगेटिव C पे पॉजिटिव CN नेगेटिव H पॉजिटिव OH बाहर जाएगा ना. C OH H CN और CHOH whole 4 CH2OH 4. फोर्थ हमारा ब्रोमीन वाटर के साथ जिसमें हमारा बनता है ग्लूकोनिक एसिड CHO CHOH 4 CH2OH ब्रोमीन वाटर में ग्लूकोनिक होते हैं इसमें CHO COOH बन जाते हैं. बता रहा प्रेजेंस ऑफ एली. एक सेकेंड. प्रेजेंस ऑफ एल्डिहाइड ग्रुप. याप OOH CHOH. फिफ्थ हमारा रिएक्शन है इसमें पेंटाएसीटेट बनता है. ग्लूकोज को हम एसिटिक एनाइड्राइड में रिपीट कराएंगे CHO HOH4 CH2OH. इसको हम याद करवाएंगे एसिटिक एनाइड्राइड का CH3CO twice O तो बन जाएगा CHO C1O CH3O4 CH2 CH2O C1O CH3. सिक्स्थ हमारा जिसमें हमारा सिट्रिक एसिड बनता है. एक तो ग्लूकोनिक एसिड से बनता है इससे ही बना लो ऑक्सीजन का कॉन्सेंट्रेट HNO3. Wait, gluconium थोड़ी pentanate है, gluconium is fine. भाई इतनी नींद आ रही है यार. Second element is CHO, CHOH, whole 4, CH2OH. इसमें हमें डालना है कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड HNO3 COOH. ये पेंटेन मतलब तुम्हें 5 हो तो ये बताता है हमें प्रेजेंस ऑफ 1 डिग्री अल्कोहल CHOH44 COOH और ऐसे बन सकता है HNO3 gluconic acid COOH. Oh my god, भाई CH whole 4 CH2. चेक हीट भी करना होता है. ब्रोमीन वाटर के साथ पेंटासिटेट alright. Structure of glucose. दूसरा ग्लूकोज क्या होता है HHOHH. एक दो तीन चार CH2OH ग्लूकोनिक एसिड का HHOHH. बस सब में HHOHH रहता है, बस उसमें एल्डिहाइड और अल्कोहल होता है. ग्लूकोनिक एसिड में कार्बोक्सिलिक और अल्कोहल होता है. सिक्रिक में दोनों साइड कार्बोक्सिलिक होते हैं. नॉन के ग्लूकोज represented as D plus glucose. D or L have no relation with the optical activity of compound. They are also not related to D and L. The glucose is represented at the glucose is represented as the glucose is represented by D. Then it means that the OH group on the last chiral carbon is on the right hand side. If it is represented by D, then it means that the OH group chiral carbon, last chiral carbon is on the right hand side, while if it is represented by L, it means OH is on the left hand side of the last chiral carbon. This configuration is used to draw out relation between glyceraldehyde and the higher carbohydrates we are making from it. Cyclic structure of glucose. not a linear structure. Despite having an aldehyde group, glucose does not give Stitch's test and it does not form hydrogen sulfide addition product with NH3. Glucose is a cyclic structure, not a linear structure. इसके हमारे पास 3 reasons हैं. एक है that despite having an aldehyde group, glucose does not give Stitch's test. Stitch's test नहीं देता test and it does not form hydrogen sulfide addition product with NaHSO3. Hydrogen sulfide NaHSO3. The pentest of glucose does not react with hydroxylamine, indicating absence of free CHO group. अच्छा, जो pentest beta glucose था वो react नहीं करता hydroxylamine के साथ. That indicates that there is no free CHO group present in glucose. Glucose is found to exist in 2 different crystalline forms, which are alpha and beta. The alpha form is glucose, whose melting point is 419 Kelvin, is obtained by crystallization from the concentrated solution of glucose at 303 Kelvin. Beta form का होता है melting point 423 Kelvin, is obtained by crystallization from hot and saturated aqueous solution at 3.7. Beta form 423 Kelvin, alpha form 409 Kelvin, beta form 423 Kelvin is obtained by crystallization from hot and saturated aqueous solution at 371. Alpha form glucose is obtained by crystallization of concentrated solution of glucose, while the beta form is crystallization of hot and saturated aqueous solution. सबसे पहला था Stitch's का, it does not give hydrogen sulfide product. Second था pentest is when reacted with hydroxylamine does not give the product, which tells us that it is not that there is no free CHO present. उसके बाद है हमारा अल्फा और बीटा. अल्फा का होता है 319, बीटा का होता है 419 होता है अल्फा का, 423 होता है केल्विन होता है बीटा का. Cyclic form of glucose. When OH on the right hand, when OH on the right side, alpha glucose, OH on the left side. Left side it is beta glucose. Beta glucose exists in 3 forms of equilibrium: alpha, open chain and beta form. Chains on only first carbon. Cyclic form beta. H OHH OHH HH OHH OHH HH OHH OHH. बीटा डी ग्लूकोज का स्ट्रक्चर नॉन साइक्लिक फॉर्म का. Don't fall. CH2OH OH H H OH H H OH OH H. This is beta glucose. CH2OH H. गलत ये है H यार फॉर्मूला बीटा ग्लूकोज का OH 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 OH. This is OH OH CH2OH OH. That's right. CH2OH OH OH. Inside वाले नीचे, outside वाले ऊपर. CH2 is always ऊपर. अच्छा. Oh, ये हो गया. OH. Beta D OH. They are also called pyranose structure. Pyran is this compound with a double bond. I'm so tired, bro. Oh my god. Disaccharides की क्या structure Fructose structures are known as Hayward structure or Furano's structures. Disaccharides when two monosaccharides combine. सबसे पहले आता है सुक्रोज. Monomer sucrose are alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. What is glycosidic linkage? Two monosaccharides are joined together by an oxide linkage formed by the loss of water molecule. Such a linkage by two monosaccharides units through oxygen atoms called glycosidic linkage. है जो एक्चुअली में है उसका This is the oxide linkage known as glycosidic linkage between alpha-D-glucose and beta-D-fructose. Glycosidic linkage sucrose होता है. Sucrose के monomers are alpha-D-glucose and beta-D-fructose. और आता है glycosidic linkage. Glycosidic linkage होता है when two monosaccharides are joined together by an oxide linkage formed by the loss of water molecule. Such a linkage between two monosaccharides units through oxygen through an oxygen atom is known as glycosidic linkage. By sucrose is invert sugar. Sucrose is dextrorotatory, but after hydrolysis gives glucose is dextrorotatory, but after hydrolysis gives dextrorotatory glucose. Sucrose is dextrorotatory. ठीक है, and hydrolysis के बाद it gives dextrorotatory glucose and levorotatory fructose. Since levorotation of fructose is 92.4 degree is more than dextrorotation of glucose 52.5 degree, the mixture is levorotatory. Thus, hydrolysis of sucrose brings about a change in the sign of rotation from dextro positive to levo. The product is named as invert sugar. Is sugar non-reducing sugar? Yes, it won't get tolerance and fillings. Why sucrose for invert sugar? Because since sucrose is dextrorotatory, but on hydrolysis it gives the product glucose and fructose, while the glucose is dextrorotatory and the fructose is levorotatory. Due to the more levorotation, that is anti-clockwise, sucrose is known as invert sugar. Dextro is clockwise positive, levo is anti-clockwise negative. Maltose monomers of sucrose were alpha-D-glucose and beta-D-fructose. Now the second is maltose. Monomers of maltose is alpha-D-glucose and alpha-D-glucose. Both are alpha-D-glucose. In maltose, C1C4 linkage is present between alpha-D-glucose. C1C4 linkage होती है. While in sucrose we have glycosidic linkage. That is the linkage which is formed due to the loss of water molecule, which is between two monosaccharides. and is joined by an oxygen molecule. Oxygen atom, my bad. Maltose is also reducing sugar. Gives maltose is reducing sugar. Gives tolerance and fillings. But sucrose is not reducing sugar. Lactose. Monomers of lactose are beta D galactose, and beta D glucose. Lactose के monomers क्या है? beta D galactose and beta D glucose. It is also reducing sugar and gives tolerance and fillings. ये मोनोसैकेराइड होगा. मोनोसैकेराइड में पढ़ा सबसे पहले हमने पढ़ा सुक्रोज. सुक्रोज में होती है, सुक्रोज में the first one was sucrose and monosaccharides. In sucrose, we had monomers as alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. Then in maltose, monomers are both alpha D glucose. In lactose, we have monomers as beta D galactose and beta D glucose. In sucrose, we have monomers as alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. In maltose, in maltose, we have monomers as both monomers are alpha D glucose. In lactose, we have monomers as beta D galactose and beta D glucose. In sucrose, we have glycosidic linkage. In maltose, we have C1C4 linkage. Sucrose is a non-reducing sugar which does not give tolerance and fillings. Maltose and lactose are reducing sugar. They give tolerance and fillings. Polysaccharides. Starch consists of amylose and amylose pestin. Monomer of starch is alpha D glucose. Starch consists of amylose and amylose pestin. Monomers of starch is alpha D glucose. Starch has monomers as alpha D glucose. Amylose and amylose pestin are different. It is amylose. It is 15 to 20% starch. Amylose pestin is 80 to 85% starch. Amylose is water soluble. Amylose pestin is water insoluble. Amylose is a long unbranched chain of 200 to 2000 alpha D glucose units held together by C1C4 glycosidic linkage. सही बता. ओह, so maltose में भी glycosidic linkage होती है. C1C4 glycosidic linkage. Amylose pestin, it is 80-85 ठीक है in water insoluble है. It is branched chain polymers with alpha D glucose units in which chain is formed by C1C4 glycosidic linkage. Branch chain of polymer of alpha D glucose unit in which chain is formed by C1C4 glycosidic linkage, whereas branching occurs by C1C6 linkage. ये भी अलग अलग है. यार केमिस्ट्री इतनी बोरिंग है यार, तब भी पढ़नी तो पड़ेगी। आई डोंट हैव एनी चॉइस। स्टार्च का जो होते हैं, एक अमाइलोज होता है, अमाइलोज पेस्टिन होता है। अमाइलोज इट इज़ 15 to 20% starch, where अमाइलोज पेस्टिन इज 80 to 85% starch. Amylose is a water soluble. Amylose pestin is water insoluble. Amylose a long and undone chain of 200 to 1000 alpha D glucose alpha D glucose unit held together by C1C4 glycolytic linkage. While amylose pestin, it is a branch chain of polymer of alpha D glucose units in which chain is formed by C1C4 glycolytic linkage, whereas branching occurs by C1C6 linkage. जो बैटरी cellulose monomer of cellulose is beta D glucose. Monomer of cellulose is beta D glucose. इसमें था अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज, सुक्रोज का था अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज एंड बीटा डी फ्रक्टोज, माल्टोज का था दोनों अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज, लैक्टोज का था बीटा डी गैलेक्टोज एंड बीटा डी ग्लूकोज। सेल्यूलोज हमें पॉलीसेकेराइड में पड़ा स्टार्च में दोनों साथ में माइलोज पेस्टिन होता है, दोनों मोनोमर अल्फा डी ग्लूकोज हैं। सेल्यूलोज मोनोमर टू सेल्यूलोज बीटा डी ग्लूकोज, दे आर जॉइंड बाय ग्लाइकोलिक लिंकेज बिटवीन C1 of one glucose unit and C4 of next glucose unit. Okay, glycogen third, it is also known as animal starch because its structure is similar to amylose pestin and is rather more highly branched. Glycogen is also known as animal starch and its structure similar to amylose pestin but is rather more highly branched. It is present in linear muscles and brain. Liver. It is present in liver, muscles and brain. When body needs glucose, enzymes break the glycogen down to glucose, found in yeast and fungi. Hemiacetal gives free aldehyde. Protein is a polymer made of alpha amino acids, mono और amino. ये ऊपर H है, यहाँ पे कार्बोक्सिलेट है, यहाँ पे NH2 है और नीचे R ग्रुप चेंज होता रहेगा और प्रोटीन के स्ट्रक्चर चेंज होते रहेंगे. Glycine is the only non-optically glycine is the only non-optically glycine is the only non-optical amino acid. Non-essential amino acids are glycine and alanine, which our body can produce itself. Glycine and alanine. Essential acids are valine and leucine, which are not produced by our body. Acidic amino acid, nucleic amino acid, basic amino acids. Dipeptide, 2 amino acids which are present, 1 peptide linkage. Dipeptide, more than 10 amino acids. Polypeptide. Protein is a polypeptide chain which contains more than 100 amino acids and its mass is greater than 10,000 AMU. Insulin is a protein with only 51 amino acids. Exception: insulin. Zwitterion. When amino acid is put in water or aqueous solution, it shows positive or negative charge on a particular pH. L configuration if NH2 is on the left, D configuration if NH2 on the right. Most of the protein exists in L form. ठीक है, 5 protein, hydrogen bonding and disulfide linkage. Polypeptide chain runs parallel to each other and they make interactions like hydrogen bonding and disulfide linkage only when sulfur is present. Polypeptide chain runs parallel to each other, ठीक है, and they make interaction like hydrogen bonding and disulfide linkage, but disulfide linkage तभी बनेगा when sulfur is present. 5 protein are insoluble in water. Example are keratin and myosin. Keratin is present in hair, wool और cells. Myosin present in muscles में होता है. Globular proteins. It results when the chains of polypeptide coil around to get just a spherical shape soluble in water. Example: insulin and albumin. Primary structure of proteins, sequence of amino acids. प्राइमरी जो कहते हैं वो sequence of amino acids होते हैं. Each polypeptide in a protein has amino acids linked with each other in a specific sequence, and it is this sequence of amino acids that is said to be the primary structure of that protein. Any change in this structure, that is the sequence of amino acids, create a different protein. Primary protein contains a sequence of amino acids. Each polypeptide in a protein has amino acid linked with each other in a specific sequence, and it is the sequence of amino acids that is said to be the primary structure of proteins. Any change in the structure will create a different protein. Secondary structure होते हैं. Folding of polypeptide chain to acquire stability is called secondary structure of protein. Folding of polypeptide chain to acquire stability is called secondary structure of protein. There are two secondary structures, alpha helix and beta pleated. Alpha helix is the most common secondary structure. NH group is the most common secondary structure होता है. NH group of one turn makes hydrogen bond with carbonyl group of adjacent turn. Alpha helix has intramolecular H bonding. Alpha helix is the most common secondary structure होता है. NH of one turn makes hydrogen bond with carbonyl group of adjacent turn. Alpha helix has intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Beta pleated क्या होता है? Beta pleated क्या होता है? In beta pleated sheet structure, all the peptide chains are stretched out to nearly maximum extension and then laid side by side, which are held together by intramolecular hydrogen bonds. अच्छा. Beta pleated sheet structure, all the peptide chains are stretched to their maximum extent and then laid side by side, which are held together by intermolecular. इंटर मतलब अपने साथ अंदर ही वाला. इंटर मतलब बाहर. Together by intramolecular bonding. Tertiary structure of protein. Further folding of secondary structure of protein is called tertiary structure of protein. It has two shapes, globular and fibrous. Forces which stabilizes 2 degree and 3 degree structure of protein are hydrogen bonding, dipeptide linkages, van der Waal, electrostatic force attraction. 4 forces to secondary and tertiary proteins को stable करते हैं. Hydrogen bonding, dipeptide linkages, van der Waal force attraction, electrostatic force attraction. उसके बाद denaturation of proteins का अर्थ है when proteins are subjected to physical or chemical change, they lose their biological activity. This is known as denaturation of proteins. We can say the hydrogen bond, and we can say hydrogen bonds are disrupted due to its globules unfold and helix get uncoiled, and proteins loses biological activity. Example, boiling of egg. Enzymes. Almost all enzymes are globular protein. They are named after the compound or class of compound upon which they work. Their names ends with ACE. They are biological catalyst. All their names end with ACE. They are biological catalyst. All enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzymes. Maltose, glucose, calm down. Oxidoreductase, mechanism of enzymes. Enzyme decreases activity energy as they act like catalyst.
Hi. Would you like to take a quick break? We'll talk to Sharon. You don't want to talk?
Vitamins. They are regarded as organic compounds required in the diet in small amounts to perform specific biological functions for normal maintenance of optimum growth and health of organism. फैट सॉल्युबल vitamins are water soluble. फैट soluble होते हैं A, D, E, K. वाटर soluble होते हैं B and C. Vitamin A source होते हैं carrots, butter, milk. These are the xerophthalmia and night blindness. Vitamin B, thiamine. Sources are yeast, milk, green vegetables. Disease are very appetite, loss of appetite, or retarded growth. Vitamin B2, riboflavin. Chilios, digestive disorder and burning sensation of skin. Sources are milk and egg white. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, convulsions, yeast milk. भाई क्या नाम है, कुछ घंटा समझ नहीं आ रहा भाई. Vitamin B12, pernicious anemia, RBC, deficient in hemoglobin. मीस्ट क्या होता है? Egg and curd. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid, scurvy, bleeding gums. Sources हैं citrus, fruits, amla, green leaf vegetables. Vitamin D, rickets, osteomalacia, sunlight fish. Vitamin E is increased fragility of RBCs and muscular weakness. Sunflower oil, vegetable oil. Vitamin K, increased blood clotting time. Green leaf vegetables. Chemical compound, nucleic acid, nucleus, chromosomes, protein, nucleic acid, DNA, RNA होता है. Difference between nucleotide and nucleoside. Nucleoside has base and sugar, while nucleotide has base, sugar and phosphate. Nucleoside has base and sugar, the nucleotide has base, sugar and phosphate. Nucleotide is monomer of DNA, but nucleotide is monomer of DNA, but nucleoside is not. Structure बना दो. Phosphate वाला ये रहा. Nucleoside not a monomer of DNA. It also does not have, it has only base and sugar. Okay. And then हमारे पास base है DNA और RNA होता है. AGCT and AGCU. A is adenine, G is guanine, C is cytosine, T is thiamine, U is uracil. AGCT, DNA का होता है AGCT, RNA का होता है AGCU. It has phosphodiester linkage between C3 and C5. DNA की बात हुई है. RNA, rRNA, mRNA, tRNA, transfer RNA, messenger RNA, ribosome RNA and DNA. It's a sugar. Its sugar is deoxyribose. RNA, its sugar is ribose. DNA, it is double stranded structure. RNA is single stranded structure. Oh gosh. right hand side. Which is following the correct structure of L-fructose. HHOH. We'll do it. D-glucose plus D-fructose. Second E.
Wait guys, I need my notebook.
Find the number of structured following which can be correlated: D, glyceraldehyde. Fructose does not contain an aldehydic group but still reduces to tolerance. Yup, सही है. In presence of base, fructose undergo rearrangement to glucose. One is true. Statement 1 is true. 2. Second also. 4. D-glucose pentacetate reacts with 2,4-dinitrofenylhydrazine. 2,4-DNP के साथ पेंटाएसिटेट रिएक्ट करेगा. नहीं करेगा यार, वो हाइड्रोक्सिलमीन के साथ तो देता नहीं है. 2,4-DNP के साथ कैसे देगा? H2NH Starch on heating with concentrated sulfuric acid at 100 degrees produces glucose. Not 100 degrees. Yup. Second is correct. But first is wrong. 1 D. Fifth is D. Fifth is. Let's go, baby. Sucrose. Yo. Sucrose, maltose, lactose, amylose pestin. See, sucrose has C1C4. Fight correct conversion during acidic hydrolysis. From the following: starch gives galactose. Cane sugar gives equal amount of glucose and fructose. That is correct. B is correct. Starch does not give galactose, bro. Starch is glucose. Cane sugar means sucrose. Wait, is cane sugar sucrose? Milk sugar is glucose. Amylose pectin gives glucose and fructose. Amylose is only glucose. Options obviously. Incorrect. Okay. Acetic hydrolase is starch with galactose. 7. Yep. Amylose pectin has C1, C4 and C1, C6. D is third. 8 is D. 8 is D. 8 is D.
8th is D.
Testing. Which also following is the correct structure of L-glucose. L-glucose means OH on the OH on the left hand side of the last carbon. That would be OH, H, H, OH. Okay, let's see these structures. Wait, what was N-verse? What were N-verse? I wrote it somewhere but I forgot it. कहाँ लिखा था यार N-verse? Bro, the incorrect statement of glucose. Glucose is one of the monomer unit of sucrose. It is correct. Glucose is soluble in water because having aldehyde functional group. Glucose remains in multiple isomeric form in its aqueous solution towards is aldohexose. It is also correct. The answer from VLC, which is incorrect. It has aldehyde group, so it can form H bonds with water. So yes, it should be soluble in water. It's C. Event is C. What? ये कैसे पॉसिबल है भाई? Oh, I got it. Sugar which does not get reduced down, which is non-reducing. That means sucrose should be the answer because galactose, lactose, glucose are reducing sugars, right? C. 12 is C. Let's go. Glucose, NaHCO3, it should be no reaction because glucose is not a linear structure. A should be second. Glucose plus HNO3 should give saccharic acid. Glucose, HI, N-hexane, bromine water, gluconic acid. A second, B fourth. The answer is C. 13 C. Oh my god. Yes. L isomer of tetra tetrose X gives positive Schiff test and has 2 carbons. On acetylation X gives tetraacetate. एक सेकेंड L isomer of tetrose gives positive Schiff test. Ketose gives Celli-bonus. What is that? Celli-Vanoffs. God damn. Ketose undergo beta emission followed by formation of chlorophyll. What the fuck? ये क्या क्वेश्चन था भाई?
You know what, guys? You know what?